Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at some trades on Tesla. If you guys have been staying tuned to the channel, you know we caught some really nice downside on Tesla after a key 240 breakdown. Well, now we're looking at Tesla back to the upside. Yesterday, Tesla bounced off a very key retest level at 213 and the 100 SMA. I have a short-term scalp that ran for almost 100%. I have the entire trade recorded live, and I want to break down why I took this entry on a short-term trade and how I scaled out of that position. Again, all of that recorded live for you guys to see. Now, later yesterday, there was another key level that Tesla held that caused me to swing trade it overnight, and you guys probably saw Tesla gapped up very nicely this morning for a 100% swing trade. So I want to break down both the 100% scalp on Tesla to the upside as well as the swing trade. And after we go over those two trades, I want to talk to you about why I'm still holding some Tesla calls looking for further upside. So we caught the downside on Tesla and now we're trying to catch the upside. I'm going to go ahead and break down Tesla today. I hope you guys do enjoy it. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So guys, here is Tesla on the daily chart. And after seeing the downside, right, we took that really nice downside in that low volume gap. If you haven't watched that video, make sure to go back and watch that. I'll pop it up on the screen. We got some very aggressive downside in this low volume gap between 240 and around this 213 level. Now, after that downside, right, there always has to be a level that we have to be cautious of, start to scale out of our puts and take our profits. For me, it was this level right here, right? You can see this little triple top. This is back from February and January of this year. We had this triple top around that 213, 210 level, and that is exactly where Tesla moved down into and saw a bounce off of. So coming into this week, coming into Monday, I was looking for potential of upside on Tesla. After seeing on Friday, this day right here, we had a solid hold of that key level there. So if we zoom in here on the 30-minute chart, we can see this was Friday of last week right here. We had a really choppy day, but this choppy day was showing us that there was consolidation, that there was a support hold stepping up around this 213 level. That is that daily chart demand that I just referred to. So we can see that downside that we caught, that Friday consolidation, that move higher in the after hours, and the Monday morning gap up. Now, the key thing that happened on Monday, which got me interested in the upside, was this green line that's running across your screen, right? You guys can see that green line right there. That is the 100 SMA on the daily chart. The 100 SMA, the daily 100 SMA, is very typically a major level of importance for any type of stock, right? And we can see on Monday, it held that beautifully. On top of that, it held this Thursday wick low around this 221.50 level, and this was the level which you guys will see in the live trading video that I was looking for Tesla to hold on to. So if we zoom in here a little bit more, I'm going to actually go down to the 15-minute chart. We can get a little bit more detail here. Here's the 15-minute chart, and we can see Monday we gapped up. We held that previous low here and that rejection point here, and we held that 100 SMA. And that gave me risk to reward, right? Because I knew, which you'll hear in the live video, I can get long here off the 100 SMA. I can get long off that hold of that previous low, and I can use that level as my stop loss. So in this live trade that you're going to hear, I had a stop under the 100 SMA, right? That was my stop. As long as we were above it, I had confidence that Tesla would try to hold it and try to push to the upside, along with the strength that we were seeing on the NASDAQ. I want to zoom in real quick and show you the importance of this 221.50 level, because it may not seem too important where you're looking at on the screen now, but I'm going to zoom into the 5-minute chart, and this is Thursday of last week, right? And this is how these levels really show up and how you have to be able to spot them, right? This is Thursday of last week, and what you guys can see, early morning Thursday of last week, we had a hold at 221.50. Now, later in that day, look at how it turned into a rejection. And this was a great downside move on Thursday. We had a 221 hold early morning that turned into a very clear rejection Thursday afternoon. So if we zoom over to where we were Monday morning, that's yesterday morning, look at how we got above that 221.50 level. We turned it into a support early morning on Monday, and that is where I looked to long off of on the scalp trade to the upside. That was my reasoning behind the scalp trade, right? We had the 100 SMA, the 221.50 demand. I knew that Tesla held that daily chart, right? I had that daily chart in the back of my mind. I knew that it was holding that 213, so I figured we could potentially see upside. The other thing that weighed in my opinion was, of course, the NASDAQ. And on Monday, right, we can see here, look at what NASDAQ did on Monday. We had these Friday highs right here on the NASDAQ around this 14,800 level. And on Monday morning, we held that, right? You guys can see right here, a break, a retest, a perfect demand hold of 14.8 and a strong NASDAQ morning. After seeing that strong NASDAQ push in the morning with that Tesla 100 SMA hold, I went long, and that trade resulted in a very nice 100% scalp. With that said, I want to now include the live trade. You will hear from my entry to my exit. I hope you guys do enjoy that. After you watch that, we'll get into the swing trade on Tesla. NASDAQ definitely strong, so I'm hoping, right, Tesla should find strength off the 100 if the NASDAQ is ripping like it is. So nice little potential opportunity here, I think. Tesla looks good, man. I like it. If we can continue to see this NASDAQ strength, I'm trying to trust it a little bit. Yeah, next pop on Tesla to the upside, I'll be scaling off some for sure. Great longs off 43.90, guys. If you took any SPY longs there, anything long on NASDAQ off 14.8, really beautiful stuff. I'm going to take a quarter off right there at 10%. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. All right. Still going to try to ride this a little bit. I trust it. NASDAQ's showing me a reason to trust it, right? Why am I trusting Tesla so much? Because look at NASDAQ. You got to trust Tesla a little bit here. NASDAQ's very nice. All right, taking another quarter off at 20%. All right, I'm down to half size. Up 1,300. There we go. Beautiful Monday. All right, so if Tesla is over, if you're still riding a Tesla contract, if Tesla stays over 227, you stay in. So if you see Tesla try to maintain here, if you really want to continue to try to trade this, you look to see if 227 holds. You possibly enter relatively soon here with a stop under 227. Tesla new highs, man. 100% on Tesla. 100%. So guys, after taking that trade early morning on Tesla, taking my profits, getting out of the position, I spotted something later in the day that caused me to look for further upside. And here is what I saw. I'll go ahead and pop up the Discord. You guys can see where I alerted I got into this swing trade and sort of the plan that I had for this potential entry. So what you'll see here is that Tesla had some of these rejections. This is back on Wednesday and Thursday. This is Thursday's pre-market high. This is Wednesday's rejection point. This is all around a very key 229 to around this 229.70 level. We had, if we go back to Wednesday and Thursday here of last week, you guys can see, right? We can sort of spot this out. Rejections in here, rejections in here, rejections in here, rejections in here. And Thursday, we had a very clean rejection again. So multiple rejections all within that level. Now, if we go back, right, let's go ahead and put a red zone in that area because you will see later in the day yesterday what happened at this exact level. If I make this red, right, because that was signifying a supply level on Monday before we got above it. Now, if we zoom in on Monday, look at how perfect we rejected that level early morning, right? You had that big squeeze, which was that live trade that you just watched, and we had a pullback off that level. Later in the day, Tesla had a very strong sort of grind back to the upside. And what did it do at that level this time around? If we zoom into the 5-minute chart and we really dissect what happened here, you guys can see we had a break above that zone, end of day on Tesla, over that 229, 229.70. We pulled back to it. And after pulling back to that level, look at the hold that came in around close of day yesterday. This was the exact hold above the previous intraday highs, right? This was a hold above that previous supply area that I talked about from back here on Wednesday and Thursday. We had that supply Wednesday and Thursday, which rejected intraday on Monday, yesterday. After it broke above it, it held it right into end of day. After seeing this, I wanted to go long, right? Because I knew Tesla was building potentially a higher low there, turning that potential previous supply into a new support. Little bit of a bull flag there end of day. And I figured with the NASDAQ strength that I was seeing, I could attempt a little low risk swing trade here using some of the profits that I took on that scalp, right? Sort of thinking about my risk management here. I had a very nice trade early morning on Tesla, so I do have a little bit of money to risk, right? At the end of the day, I have some house money I can risk here on continuation. But again, this trade had technical reasons behind it. You guys can see a very beautiful gap up. You know, you gotta love that. When you wake up in the morning, you see your swing trade gap up like Tesla did, and I was pretty much scaling out into open. Tesla, nice downside this morning, right? Nice downside pretty much all day. But now, right, video's not over. I am still in this swing trade, and I added to it. Here is why, right? Why did I add to this swing trade? Here's the reason, and it is pretty much the exact level that we were just talking about. Tesla filled the overnight gap down, or the overnight gap up. It filled it the entire day. Where did Tesla stop selling off today? At that exact red zone that we just talked about, right? So this zone goes from red and it is now green, right? Because we are trading above it. This zone is now green. And after seeing Tesla bounce off this level today, I started to add back to my swing trade here. So next week, September 1st, 235 calls, I was adding back after seeing that hold. If I go back to the 30-minute chart, you can see this is potentially a larger term break and retest of these previous highs. And tomorrow I am looking to see if Tesla can pop back up into that 240 level. Now, of course, I need to be a profit taker up at 240 because if we zoom out even more, right, you guys remember 240 is a major level of supply. So if you are in this swing trade, right, you still need to be aware of the potential supply above at 240. However, I was confident to re-enter because technical levels. That's why, right? That is why I'm entering this trade again, because a technical level that was a previous rejection point held as a very clean support today, and we have to trust our levels. We have to go into trades with proper risk. We can't, put an amount that if Tesla does drop, I blow up my account, I can't trade tomorrow. That's not what we're doing here, right? But if a technical level presents itself, like we see here, a demand hold at a previous day high and at some previous rejections here, why not take some risk? Why not attempt that trade? Tomorrow, I am looking to see if Tesla can hold that 230 level, the demand that it held today, and push back into that 240. So guys, you saw that live trade, the live trade off 220, the live trade off the 100 SMA, very nice scalp there. Why I took a swing from yesterday into today, and then why I continue to hold some Tesla calls into tomorrow. There's a little bit of concern on the NASDAQ, which we need to be aware of, the 15,000 level. So that is one thing that could affect this trade if the NASDAQ does reject 15,000. I want to get out of this position before end of day tomorrow because of NVIDIA earnings. I don't really have interest in holding through that, knowing how important that is to the market. We'll see how this plays out. Either way, 2 100% trades on the swing and on the scalp. I have a little bit of house money here, so I figured I would take this risk. Very nice risk to reward, good technical analysis. Let's see how this plays out. If you learned something about technical analysis in this video, press that like button, sort of how I structure these trades. I hope you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.